Hey, RosterWatch Nation, it's your friendly neighborhood Trashman, and this is the Garbage Grab. Today, I'm going to continue to talk about some of my favorite breakout candidates, this time at the quarterback and tight end position. Remember, I'm going to be handicapping myself, in effect, because I won't be talking about any rookies, and I won't be talking about guys who have really had breakout seasons in the past. So, again, this should be fun. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, quarterback position. First guy I'm going to talk about is Gardner Minshew, the Jacksonville Jaguars. He actually had the #1 quarterback rating throwing deep in 2019 and was actually the #10 quarterback under pressure. The big reason why I feel like Gardner Minshew can have a breakout year is because of his running prowess. And I repeat it again and again, I love quarterbacks that can run the ball. Only Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, and Deshaun Watson had more yards on the ground than Gardner Minshew last year. He had 344 yards on the ground. And he had a 21-6 touchdown to interception ratio, which isn't that bad. So if you have a pretty high floor as a runner, as a quarterback, and you have your second year in the offense starting to improve, and you have new additions in the offense like Laviska Shenault, who can really play anywhere in the field. He can play in the backfield. He can play out of the slot. He can play out wide. And he's a big body, fast receiver with great hands. And complementing Dede Westbrook, who can do a lot with the ball too. And then you have Colin Johnson, who you've added, who isn't that athletic, but he's enormous. And he's got soft hands and is a good red zone presence. I feel like Gardner Minshew can take a big step up this year, especially because of his higher running floor. After Gardner Minshew, I have Jarrett Stidham of the New England Patriots. I mean, you can't doubt Bill Belichick. We've learned not to. New England passed on a quarterback in Andy Dalton. They passed on Cam Newton. They didn't draft a quarterback. They didn't say that. They said that wasn't by design, but yet it didn't happen one way or another. Stidham was considered a #1 NFL pick by a lot of people before his final year in college at Auburn. So there must be something that Bill Belichick knows that we don't know. I mean, maybe he was playing the long game and he's a masterful genius and knew with the state of affairs of our country that Colin Kaepernick would be an eligible player at this point. And if that's the case, then he's a genius beyond all measure. But I don't think that's the case. And I think they're going to roll with Stidham. I mean, all he has to do is beat out Brian Hoyer. And by all accounts, he's expected to do so. So Jarrett Stidham, I never go against Bill Belichick these days. I can't. I've learned not to. One other thing I've learned not to go against is the 2020 Roster Watch Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet, available now at RosterWatch.com. The revolutionary cheat sheet that changed fantasy football forever is back only at RosterWatch.com. The Roster Watch Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet, all you have to do is follow 3 simple rules. That's it, 3 rules. It couldn't be easier. An expert quality fantasy football draft is guaranteed. The Roster Watch Ultimate Draft Sheet only at RosterWatch.com. All right, now moving on to the tight end position. And there's going to be a lot of depth here, I believe. First breakout candidate at the tight end position, and maybe the biggest one with the highest ceiling, is Hayden Hurst of the Falcons. Austin Hooper 2.0. Matt Ryan has described Hurst as one of the fastest and most athletic tight ends he's ever played with. And this is a guy that played with Tony Gonzalez, that played with Austin Hooper. Ryan likes to go to his tight ends. In 12 seasons with Matt Ryan as quarterback, the Falcons tight ends have produced 770-catch campaigns. So that's more than half the time. And so I feel like with an athletic presence that Hurst has, it's very likely that he could have a 70-catch campaign and do quite a bit of damage with it. So at tight end 11 right now, that's a lot of value. I think it's going to be a big breakout season for Hayden Hurst. After Hurst, I have Jay Sternberger of the Packers. A lot of this is based on just the dearth of receiving options, reliable receiving options that the Packers have right now. I mean, it's Devontae Adams, Devin Funchess, maybe. And who else? I mean, Alan Lazard, maybe. It's questionable. Jay Sternberger could be the third option in the passing game here for an Aaron Rodgers who is by all likelihood going to be on a revenge tear. He's going to be angry that the Packers drafted a quarterback so early. And so I feel like this is the kind of season that he's going to want to rub it into his coach's face and kind of show that he is the man. And one of the reasons why is because he can target his receivers, especially in the end zone, very well. 72 targets have been vacated by Jimmy Graham. So that's 72 targets that Jay Sternberger is in competition for. So I like him. Another guy I really like this year, and I think is going to have an excellent floor, is Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith, who has said he's been working with Ryan Tannehill in the offseason at a privately owned local park. And that means a lot because the preseason isn't going to be what it has been in the past. And camps aren't going to be what they have been in the past. So any leg up that you can get on the competition is going to go a long way. And Jonnu Smith is basically the next Delanie Walker. There is no more Delanie Walker in Tennessee. So Jonnu Smith is going to be the guy. He finished last year overall tight end 17. He had career highs in targets with 44, 35 catches, and 439 receiving yards. And this is playing in Delanie Walker's shadow for at least half of the season. So Jonnu Smith, big chance to have a breakout year as maybe the number 2 option in the passing game in Tennessee. Maybe the number 1 option. He might get targeted more than A.J. Brown. It's entirely possible. So a breakout year on the horizon for him. Another guy with breakout year capabilities is Chris Herndon of the New York Jets, 6'4", 253 pounds. He's had high expectations since he came into the league 2 years ago, but a league-imposed suspension and numerous injuries limited him to really just one healthy quarter of the season in 2019. He only had 18 snaps in 2019. In his rookie season, he had 39 receptions for 502 yards and 4 touchdowns. And most of that came with Sam Darnold. Chris Herndon is only 24 years old, mind you. So he's young, he's athletic on an offense where we already know Sam Darnold likes to go to him when he's there. That's missing a lot of artillery weapons in the passing game. I mean, Denzel Mims is there, and he's going to change a lot for the Jets. Probably my favorite receiver in the draft this year. But there's going to be a lot of action for Herndon too. I expect a breakout year for him with Sam Darnold. And then last but not least, Micah Sickie of the Dolphins, 6'6", 250 pounds with 4.5 speed. That is a freak. Micah Sickie expected to be used in the slot in 3 wide sets. So chances are he has a leg up on Albert Wilson and on Allen Hurns as the third option in Miami behind Devontae Parker and Preston Williams. You have to remember, in week 16 of 2019, he had 82 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is the kind of ceiling you can get out of Gesicki. And it doesn't really matter if Tua Tagovailoa is under center, in my opinion. There's nothing a rookie quarterback loves more than a fast, powerful, reliable tight end to depend on as a safety valve. So I love Gesicki's chances this year, whether it's Ryan Fitzpatrick or Tagovailoa. I think it's going to be a breakout year for him. So there's a lot of action between these tight ends. It's going to be a lot of value. Could be the year of the tight end in fantasy in opposition to last year, which was definitely not. Anyways, this is the Trashman on behalf of RosterWatch.com. If you like what you're hearing, if you like what you heard, give us a comment, give us a follow, subscribe to the site. Get the cheat sheet. It's going to help you. It's going to help you win your league. It's helped a lot of people do so in the past, and will continue to do so. On behalf of RosterWatch.com, until next time, be ready.